allait prendre la route de l'aventure. Ah, mais c'est le président. Un pauvre qui vote pour celui qui l'a rendu pauvre. Si on était bien au pays, est-ce qu'on allait prendre la route de l'étranger? Ah, mais c'est le président. À l'Assemblée, il y a un vieux. Vraiment. Au Sénat, il y a un vieux. Wonderful. À la présidence, il y a un vieillard. Dans tout le gouvernement, il n'y a que des vieux, des vieux, des vieux. Des jeunes prennent le chemin de la Libye pour devenir des esclaves. Les jeunes prennent la route du désert pour entrer en Europe. À l'Assemblée, il y a un vieux. Sonia Touko. Au Sénat, il y a un vieux. À la présidence, il y a un vieillard. Dans tout le gouvernement, il n'y a que des vieux, des vieux, des vieux.
Hi. Good day to the beautiful people of the Cameroons. Good day to the beautiful people of British Cameroon and the beautiful people of La République du Cameroon. Happy weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a party political broadcast by myself, Maître Mola Alex Ndiveli Sinke, the leader of British Cameroon National Party and the unofficial opposition of the Cameroons. Ladies and gentlemen, today I've come to talk about why are all the opposition political party afraid of a 92 years old man to be a presidential candidate. 92 years old. And again, why is it that failed opposition presidential candidate, they still keep on putting their candidature? Usually in a democracy, if you try once, Mr. Biya defeat you, twice Mr. Biya defeat you, you leave it for fresh people to come with different ideologies, but they are still there. Then again, everybody is afraid to face a 92-year-old presidential candidate. To me, I would have thought that it would have been an advantage for me if I was standing for presidential election to face Mr. Biya. One, just the fact that he's 92 years old will give me an advantage. So why is it that everyone is afraid? The bishops, they say, Mr. Biya should not stand again. Archbishop, Catholic Archbishop. To me, the problem is not Mr. Biya. Because whoever you change and put as a CPDM candidate, they will still win. It doesn't matter who the person is. It's not about Mr. Biya. At the age of 92 years, Mr. Biya, at that age, what can you do? Do you think it's Mr. Biya ruling Cameroon now? Mr. Biya is not ruling La République. So why are you people afraid of Mr. Biya? To me, I would like to see that they should obliterate the party called CNU, rebranded CPD, not Mr. Biya. We don't need that party any longer. It's absolute. If you're talking about changing personality, somebody to stand for Mr. Biya, one, all the people who are talking about that Mr. Biya should stand down. All of you. Whether it's the Archbishop, whether it's some opposition leader or civilians, most of you are not even in the political party, the CPDM. When Biden was asked to stand down, it was not American. It was not Republican Party telling, oh, Biden should step down, or the Catholic priests in America. It is members of Biden's party. They knew he was incapacitated. He was not fit to stand. Obama talked about it. Other political party in his party. Why? Do you know why they were talking about it? Because they have power to remove Biden. If Biden wanted to insist that he would stand again, they would have removed him. There's a mechanism. So how? In the CPDM, chop people their money political party, they don't have a mechanism to remove Mr. Bia. They don't. Even there's no mechanism, even in the constitution, they say you can impeach the president. You can't impeach the president. The mechanism is not there. The people who are supposed to impeach a president of La République du Cameroun, they are subordinate. So it is difficult, my brothers and sisters. So my point is, everybody or some people, they are excited that there would be a presidential election in October. My problem is, what have changed? Why do people keep on doing the same thing ever since Mr. Bia came to power? And they believe they can win Mr. Bia or the CPDM political party. We pretend as if we don't know the machinery that the CNU, rebranded CPDM, have put in place. A can win. CPDM will still say they win. So it's all over. Amnesty International report, Human Rights report, Freedom House report, US State Department report. Go and read them. They say elections in Cameroon are rigged by Mr. Bia's party. It is there. So if they rig elections, so what is the purpose? Most of you, you are just accompanying Mr. Bia. It's a game. It's just a game. Most people will stand as presidential election. You know, they restrict it so that certain people cannot stand. I'll give you an example. Let's start in 12 October 1997. Mr. Bia had 92% of the vote. I'm talking 1997 presidential election. The next person was Henry Hogwenlek. He had 2.50%. So Mr. Bia had 92%. So what has changed? That was in 1997. Then you go to 11 October 2004. Mr. Bia had 70%. The next person was Frundi with 17%. What has changed that people think that they can go and stand election now and defeat Mr. Bia or whoever in chop people their money without changing the electoral system or reforming or revising the constitution or amending the constitution of the Cameroon? So how can you? What has changed? That's what I want to know. As a leader of British Cameroon National Party, I want to know what has changed in 2025. What has changed? On the 9th of October 2011, presidential election, President Paul Biya had 77%. The next person was Frundi with 10%. So what has changed? 2011. Everybody is saying that, okay, Mr. Bia don't stand. So if Mr. Bia doesn't stand, another CPD and militant stands. How are you going to win? Do you think you have changed nothing? The last 7 years, there have been a non-functional opposition. Instead of spending the last 7 years fighting that they should reform the laws of the Cameroons, all these things like Elecam, we don't need it. In most countries, you should get rid of Elecam. Elecam is there for what? Wasting taxpayers' money. Do you know the people who conduct election? We have electoral commission. But the people who conduct elections in the UK are your local council. Don't we have local councils in the Cameroons? Why do you double the duty of eleccam? To do what? Most eleccam are still civil servants appointed by Mr. Bia. So in 2011, Bia had 77%. John Fundi had 10%. Look at the gap. Each year it keep on going up. On the 7th of October 2018, the last election, President Paul Bia had 71%. Moise Kamto had 14%. So you keep on standing for election. You don't even close the gap. If you take all the elections since 1997, join the percentage of all the candidates, the opposition, that's Henry Hugonlep, Frundi, Kamto, you join all of it. Mr. Bia still win them since 1997. Join all their percentage. Hugonlep 2 point something percent, John Fundi 17%, Fundi again 10%, Kamto 14%. Join it all. It doesn't even near Mr. Bia's 70% averagely. So the point is, why do people vote for in a presidential election in the Cameroons? Why? Why? Because if you know you're doing the same thing and you're still going to have the same result, so why are you voting? That's what I want to know. It is very important. In a democracy, people vote for you because you have good policies, you have good manifestos. But since 1992, ever since the reintroduction of multi-party politics, no political party have ever gone for an election with a manifesto. They do what we call politics of personality cult. You just go there, I'm this person. Then how do people vote, especially in the Cameroons? Now my countryman, now my tribe man, this man, Mr. Bia Handsome, oh, this man come up from my region. That's how they vote in Cameroon. That is how they vote in the Cameroons. Sometimes, a lot of people will come and say, oh, Mr. Bia, they call this word, I don't like to use it. In Cameroon, they use that word, they call what? Tribalism. The real word in English, tribalism, is a positive thing. It means loyalty. You're loyal to your wife, you're loyal to your football team, you're loyal to your family, you're loyal to your tribe. So, in English word, tribalism is a good thing. When you're tribal, it means loyalty. So I understand people, they mistake that word in Cameroon with nepotism. Nepotism. What is bad is nepotism. Nepotism means giving jobs maybe for your friends and family. But tribalism means loyal. But in the Cameroon sense, I understand what they mean by tribalism in Cameroon. Maybe you mix nepotism inside. So let's use the Cameroon sense of tribalism. Most people in the Cameroons, whether you're from the north, whether you're from different tribes in the northwest region or southwest region or other place, majority of them in Cameroon, where they are tribalistic. I've looked since the independence of the Cameroons. Look at all the people who have been ministers of top position. They always put their tribes. Normally, I say the right word is nepotism, but I'll use Cameroon language on tribalism. They are tribalistic. Most of them, all of them. And to me, I've looked at the various prime ministers who have been there, especially Anglophones. To me, there have been two Bakure prime ministers, Enoni and Musonge. When I look at them, I look at the people who used to work in their offices. It's my personal experience. I saw it. They were not that tribalistic. I wish they were to help their own Bakori people too. Because everybody, they do that in the Cameroons. Musonge and Enoni, I don't think they really help Bakori people. Because to me, as I say, when they come there, they like to play it fair. It's my personal experience. You might have different experience. We all know. I was in Guakele when Pa Achideachu was prime minister. That place is it, how do they call that place? Lac. His Lac resident became the capital of Bamenda. I know. I was in Guakele. So sometimes, my aim, I'm saying this, sometimes let's not pretend. They say in law, in equity, he who comes for equity must come with clean hands. So for those of you who sit sometime and say Mr. Bia is tribalistic, you people do the same thing. So that's why I'm saying we must stop this politics of personality cult. Look at somebody, judge the person on what they are doing, their policies, their manifesto. We will get it right. And the laws in the Cameroons, they need to change the laws in the Cameroons. Because if we don't change the laws in the Cameroons, you cannot stop somebody from being tribalistic or to favor somebody. The way, the mechanism you stop people is by making laws and rules and regulation and checks and balances. I understand in some places like in the United States of America, if you want to employ somebody for a job, some jobs, you have about 3 people who sit the interview you. Then they have to vote, those 3 people. So you see, it cuts that if they want tribalism or favoritism. In some places, you apply for a job, they don't put your name there. They conceal your name, they put the number, so they don't know the person who is applying. They look at your statement and your CV. So you cannot say people should stop being tribalistic because they will always be. It's a mechanism. You have to put a mechanism, institution, checks and balances, transparency. That's what you do. So forget about people being tribalistic. They will always be. They will always be. So the point is, ever since the reintroduction of multipartyism, those of you who have been voting in the Cameroons, when you used to vote, whether it's Paul Biya, you were voting Paul Biya for what? That what? What were his policies? No policies. You were voting for John Fundi. What were you voting John Fundi for? That is an Anglophone. That is from Northwest. No manifesto. So when they used to vote President Aijo, under one party system, 99.9%, they were voting Aijo for what? You see, you people just vote without knowing the reason of voting. People are talking again about election in 2025. It's about going, having money, leaving government offices and go to the provinces. Why is it that when they are campaigning during elections in the Cameroons, why is it that a man from Northeast must go and campaign in the North? Why is it that a person maybe from Northwest region, they will send you to go and campaign in Northwest region? Why is it that a person from Douala or from Southwest region, they send you? Why? Do you know why? Why can they not send somebody from Southwest region or a Bakwarian? Because you're CPDM. Go and campaign in Garoua. They don't do that because tribalism is recognized in the Cameroons. Why do they send civil servants to go and campaign? Civil servants, they are impartial. But in the Cameroons, there is no difference between a civil servant and a CPD, militant. Because if you don't go and campaign, you might have problem at your work. Nobody is telling you what is their manifesto. Are they going to stop civil servant politicians? Because in the Cameroons, we don't have politicians. Mr. Biya was working with a matricule. He became a president. Same with Aijo. Prime Minister Diongute, lecturer in the university, a civil servant, is doing the job of a politician. And now graduate, administrators, they come out, they are governors, unelected DOs, unelected DO. They are doing the job of politicians. Nobody is talking about that reform. Nobody is talking about how they are going to solve Anglophone problem. My brothers and sisters, federalism cannot solve the Anglophone problem. Equal status. They have to sign a treaty that they will respect the institution of British Cameroon and the one of French Cameroon. They have to sign a treaty. It's never too late. Because you did come and let us stay in a marriage doesn't mean that after staying, come and let us stay for 10 years. It doesn't mean you cannot still go and marry in the civil status registry. Let these people come and tell us, how are they going to stop France from controlling us? Because Macron is the de facto president of the Cameroons. How are they going to stop France? How are they going to stop France from making our money, controlling our interest rate, monetary policy, controlling our economic? How are, let the presidential candidate, let them come and tell us. Is it just about, you say, oh, Mr. Bia, he own people, they don't chop plenty. Now, may other man come, may own people, then chop. Is that how you people want to run a country? No, that's not a reason to run a country. There is nowhere in the constitution of La République du Cameroun that they will say they will make light hospital, reference hospital in Yaoundé, then there will be none in Banso, or in Cambe, or in Wum, or in Manfe. There is no law. There is no law that says electricity should be only in a particular place in the Cameroons without it being in the villages. There is no law. Instead, the constitution of La République du Cameroun says that the government shall use its resources, distribute it to each individual citizen, individual, not tribe, not town, not province, not region, individual citizen. So ever since Mr. Bia came to power, why have you not been distributing the resources to each individual citizen? Instead, you're distributing the resources to what? Glencoe, Savannah Energy, Pectin. That's where our resources are going. Then you say, oh, diaspora, they should come and invest. Invest what? If I want to invest, give me the contract that you're giving it to Glencoe or Savannah Energy. That's the real investment. That's where the money is. You want me to come and invest. What invest? You take the things that they call investment and give it to foreign countries, to Europeans and Americans. Then you ask diaspora to come and invest what? Investment is commodities. Having transnational corporation like Pectin, Glencoe, Savannah Energy. How many people of the Cameroons have such company? You take all those hedge funds, you give it to foreigners. How can we be rich? When you have constitution that all your raw materials, you have to be exporting them. When we can do it, manufacture it in the Cameroons and create jobs. We of British Cameroon National Party, we are monitoring all of you. All those failed presidential candidates, you just go there to accompany Mr. Bia. Since 1997, Mr. Bia have been leading. In 1997, Mr. Bia had 92%. 2004, 70%. 2011, 77%. 2018, 71%. Then the next person is coming with 14%, 10%. And again, every time after presidential election, Mr. Bia attract the so-called opposition to come and join the government. No, you don't have to join the government as an opposition leader. You have to tell the government of La République, Mr. Bia, create an official opposition. They will be paying us. We have to stand and be asking you questions, Mr. Bia. That's what you should do. When all the opposition, Bello Buba, Chiruma, Jean-Didier Momo, Daikole Daisala, Fundi, all of you go and join CPDM. So it means there is no opposition. Take note, SDM have always been in government. They had the vice president of the National Assembly banned them, but they keep on camouflaging as if they are not in government. They have been there. Government have been paying the SDF. They are in government. So if all opposition are in government, there's no opposition, because the job of an opposition is to check the government, is to scrutinize them, is to hold them to account, is to criticize their policies and give alternative policies. And the only political party in the Cameroons that does that is British Cameroon National Party. If you don't have alternative policy, what else? Why do you want that they should vote you? You want that they should vote you to replace Mr. Biya, to bring your own country people then to for a to the two more and start chop, the distribute contract. That's all you people do. Because you don't tell the people what you're going to do. You don't tell them your economic policy, health policy, transport policy, judicial policy, policing, environment, everything. You don't say anything. You want that they should vote you because of your name. Political party don't say, vote this political party because if you vote us, this is what we're going to do, A, B, C. You always say, Kamto must stand. This one must stand. Is that a manifesto? Is that a manifesto? You people just want to get there and continue, allow France to be running our country. Because as a minister of finance, you don't set the interest rate. You don't set the monetary policy. You don't control the economy, but you call yourself Minister of Finance and Economy. When you don't have a job, it's just a window dressing exercise. All the things are made in Paris, and you people, you there, I'm a president, I'm a minister. When France makes all those decisions and hand it to you people, because of our natural resources. So ladies and gentlemen, don't be fooled. Even all these people, they say they are presidential candidate, even if they win, none of them, they cannot tell you how they will solve the Anglophone problem. British Cameroon National Party is the only political party that's telling you how we're going to solve the Anglophone problem. Because we are calling for equal status. They should respect the two countries that came together. They have their institution, their ENAM, their ENS, their gendarmerie, their ERIC, all those, their military tribunal. We are just saying, use it in La République du Cameroun. Let's use our own liberal institution in our own area. We don't need unelected governors, DOs or what. You are free to use those things in La République du Cameroun. What's wrong with that? Scotland is using their own thing in Scotland. In Quebec, they are using their own thing in Canada. Catalonia in Spain, they are using their own thing. The Flemish in Belgium, they are using their own thing. Why is it that in the Cameroons, the two countries cannot use the different institution? Why is it that you're forcing your institution on us? This year is a year that the CNU rebranded CPDM. If they don't do this thing, they will regret it. They will regret it. If they think everything is about election, what's election? You copy election from Western countries, but you don't want to copy the system that they respect the different heritage and culture and tradition of different countries or tribes. There is no country in the West that is one size fits all. They do the same thing. If you go to France, you realize that in France, some laws are different. In America, some laws are different. This place have death penalty, this doesn't. This divorce is this. They are all in Britain. Every part have different, because as a Homo sapiens, we are not alike. You cannot use a unitary form of state, especially in Africa. Besides our different culture, inherited culture, English and French institutions, we have different ethnicities. A person from Banso is different from a person from Womb, Cambe, other places. We are different. That is why Section 11, this law, they still use it, if I'm not mistaken, of Southern Cameroon High Court law. They say any native law which is repugnant to natural justice, equity, and good conscience, the common law will prevail. It's still there. They still use it. There's a court case in Bamenda that they still use it because they know each ethnicity in the Cameroons, you are entitled to use your traditional customary laws. We used to have customary court there in Boya there, near Motor Park. That's a backward customary court. The laws in the Cameroon recognize it. We are not the same. That is why we change all those things. You cannot centralize everything in a country that is different. That's why British Cameroon National Party is also calling for ethno-cultural democracy. So, ladies and gentlemen, the question today I came to ponder about it is, why are people scared of a 92-year-old man? It's not about Paul Biya. If Paul Biya is not there, the same machinery that rigs the election is there, nothing will change. Most of these candidates, they come to accompany Mr. Biya. Some of them, they are part of CPDM. They pretend to be opposition. They just want to show the world, window dressing exercise, playing to the gallery that there's elections in the Cameroon. We are not interested in those elections. Britain was constructed by dictators. King Leopold of Belgium came to Africa, stole and developed the country. Election, it doesn't develop a country. We need people who are patriotic, people who love the Cameroons. They will use our resources like the Arab countries that they have monarchy and develop our country. Election doesn't develop our country. For more than 60 years, the CNU rebranded CPDM. They cannot construct one motorway. One! If somebody cannot construct motorway for more than 60 years, you think you will have another 7 years to be giving our resources to France, Europe, America. That's why they are there. If you give me to run Cameroon for 1 year, I will do what the CNU rebranded CPDM have not done for 60 years. It's easy. Rule number 1. I will change the constitution of CDC. All those products that they say they have to export to the West, because everything from CDC is for export. That's their constitution. I will change it. No more export. At least 95% of the products of CDC, they will manufacture it in Cameroon. If we don't have the technician, the engineer to use our timber, banana, coffee, we are going to invite foreigners, Germany, French, and this. We signed a contract. Bring your company to the Cameroons. Come and do the diamond, the gold in Cameroons. We'll pay you. Then when you do it, what happens? You create jobs to the local people. That is how I will do it. And within 1 year, I will create thousands and thousands of jobs. The Biya regime, they are there to make you to be poor, because they have signed contracts that the next 100 years, the Cameroons will never develop. I know all the trick, what to stop for the country to change. It's not a miracle. First electricity in the UK was around 1881. First underground train was about 167 years ago. Underground train that go. There was no technology now. But today we have modern technology. We cannot tar our roads with modern technology. When there was no modern technology in the UK, people had underground trains. How did they do it? It's not a miracle. Industrial revolution started long ago. When I talk about industrial revolution, I see some Cameroon ministers, they come and say they have started industrial revolution. They think that industrial revolution means that you open industries. No. It means instead of using your hands to do things, you start using machines, so you manufacture more things. That's industrial revolution. So that is it. But they don't even know. When you're a minister, you confuse industrial revolution with opening industry. It tells you, if you don't know something, it's difficult to be in a position to make policies because you don't know. So a lot of people like to be in the positions in the Cameroons when they don't have any clue on what to do. They just sit there. They give them, technical advisors. They do what AB, some of these technical advisors, they do it. They just bring it, you sign, you're a minister, when you don't even know what you're doing. A minister should be able to make decisions. that will have impact on the lives of the people. Sometimes I go to the shops in my local area in London, you see palm oil, how much they sell it in supermarket in London, you cry. My uncle used to do palm oil in Owe in his farm and bring it for us in Boya. Palm oil. You see garlic and ginger, all those things. You enter those shops, you see products that they have made that we have in Africa, how expensive it is. These are the things that we should copy and be doing and exporting it. But instead, we want to send a raw material, which is nothing. If you go to Sloane Square, you look at our diamond and gold, a little bit like this. You cannot afford it, but they take it from Africa. These are the things that we should make sure we send people to gain that knowledge on how to use our raw diamond, gold, how to turn our banana, oranges, coffee, or what, Nescafe, all those things. We should be making it in our country and creating jobs. But we give raw material. Raw material. When they produce it, the rich country, they send it to us. How can we afford those things? It is easy to change the Cameroons. Unfortunately, the West have put poodles there to sit on our resources and make us poor. Ladies and gentlemen, British Cameroon National Party, the unofficial opposition of the Cameroons, we are ready to revolutionize that country. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a party political broadcast by myself, Maître Mola Alex Ndive Lisinge. Have a lovely weekend.
Tout Joseph, professeur à Los Angeles. Comment pouvez-vous nommer un individu à un poste pendant 25 ans? 20 ans directeur de tam. Vous partagez le pouvoir avec vos familles. Vous partagez le pouvoir avec vos amis. Vous partagez le pays avec vos familles. Vous partagez le pays avec vos familles. Et après quand ils ont volé, vous appelez les médias, les attrapés. Et après quand ils ont volé, vous appelez les médias, les attrapés. Qui les avait nommés d'abord dans ce poste-là? C'est toi qui les avais nommés, papa. Tu as oublié, tu as seulement oublié. C'est toi qui les avais nommés, oh, tu as oublié. Guélé Raphaël du Kenya. C'est les mêmes qui sont toujours ministres. Ils vont au quartier pour quelque temps et ils reviennent après. Ils font le tour des ministères. Aujourd'hui, ministre de la communication, demain, ministre du sport. À l'Assemblée, il y a un vieux. Au Sénat, il y a un vieux. C'est vieux. À la présidence, il y a un vieillard. À tout le gouvernement, il y a que des vieux. Des vieux, des vieux.